In the heart of the Arizona desert, I embarked on a solo journey, booking an Airbnb for a job interview that required a substantial distance from home. What was initially a business trip evolved into a brief adventure as I chose a specific Airbnb tucked away at the end of a secluded road. Its allure lay not only in its affordability compared to hotels, but also in its proximity to the interview venue and a picturesque view of the desert from the backyard. Armed with my laptop, I delved into work during the daytime, keeping myself occupied throughout my 3-day stay. The pivotal interview unfolded on the second day, a Tuesday, with my departure scheduled for Friday. The night before the interview, on Monday, found me engrossed in practicing interview questions and gathering last-minute knowledge about the company. The clock neared 9 p.m. when an unusual interruption occurred, a tap at the window. Not a distinct knock, more like the gentle touch of a finger. Startled, my gaze turned toward the window, revealing only the abyss of darkness outside. My instincts urged me to investigate, and though hesitant, I confronted the void, finding nothing but the silent, sprawling desert. The subsequent day brought the relief of a seemingly successful interview, leading to a period of exploration within the town. I traversed its various nooks in my car, dined at diverse restaurants, and basked in the sun in the Airbnb's backyard. Unbeknownst to me, I may have had an audience during my moments of relaxation. Night fell, and as I immersed myself in Breaking Bad, the tapping returned. This time, it was undeniable, a deliberate communication that unsettled me further. Despite my immediate response, the perpetrator remained elusive. I checked every window and door, even stepping onto the back porch to gaze into the desolate desert behind the house. An eerie click, akin to someone clicking their tongue, echoed from the darkness. Paranoia set in, and I felt the unseen eyes hiding behind desert shrubbery, observing and toying with me. In defiance, I yelled into the night, only to be met with a chilling response. Another click. Straining my eyes in the direction of the sound, I discerned a figure in dark attire standing not too far away. Fear compelled me to call out a warning about private property and a threat to involve the authorities. The mysterious figure, eerily swift, retreated into the desert shadows. Although my initial suspicion leaned towards the Airbnb owner, the night left me grappling with uncertainty. The subsequent night, back in the comfort of my bed, the mysterious events continued. As I watched Breaking Bad on my laptop, a muffled click emanated from the partially open closet door. Fear seized me, and in a natural response, I bolted off the bed, still in my pajamas. The situation escalated when, within seconds of turning off the lights, the click resurfaced, this time from within the closet. Fueled by fear, I rushed to my car, dialed 911, and waited in the driveway as the police arrived. Together, we conducted a thorough investigation of the small Airbnb. Despite its size, the lack of conclusive evidence did little to ease my apprehension. With a partial refund from Airbnb and the host, I made the decision to abandon the unsettling abode that very night, seeking refuge in a nearby hotel. The lingering questions haunted me. Was it the Airbnb host, or had a stranger infiltrated at an opportune moment? The secrets of the Arizona night remained locked in the shadows, a tale of mystery and the unsettling unknown. My wife Cheryl and I celebrated our 10-year anniversary and recently marked our 2nd year of marriage. A new chapter began for us as we moved into our dream house just a month ago. Nestled in the small inland town of Waycross, Georgia, our home sat on a quiet street, boasting a spacious property that faced a charming patch of woods. This serene setting was ideal for our future plans of adopting a dog and raising a family. Our work schedules aligned, with me returning home around 5 p.m. and Cheryl arriving an hour later. The initial nights in our new abode proceeded without incident, occupied by the weekend unpacking frenzy. However, the tranquility shattered on a fateful Monday night when an eerie melody disrupted the calm. It was around 9 p.m., and my wife and I had just settled into bed after a day of unpacking. Abruptly, vintage music, reminiscent of an old staticky radio broadcast, permeated the air from our backyard. Confused, we exchanged concerned glances, unsure of the source. Opening my window revealed a clearer picture, a song from the 1940s, "Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf" by Henry Hall, echoed through the night. Though originally a cheerful tune, its effect, coming from our backyard, was undeniably chilling. Determined to unravel the mystery, I descended to the back door, flicking on the backyard lights. Stepping into the yard, the music continued, but I realized it wasn't originating from our backyard. It emanated from the woods. The song played to completion, leaving an unsettling silence in its wake. A perplexing housewarming prank crossed my mind, but the absurdity of such an act lingered. The following night, the haunting melody returned with increased intensity. This time, the song was "Tiptoe Through the Tulips," and our dismay deepened. Peering out the window, I noticed an object on the grass, revealing itself as an old radio, the source of the eerie tunes. Deciding to confront the situation, I ventured outside with an air of authority. As I approached the radio, my wife's screams pierced the night. She urged me to run, insisting there were people behind me. Panic surged as I turned to the woods, where 3 figures stood, spaced 6 feet apart, facing me. Without hesitation, I sprinted back inside, slamming the door behind me. Cheryl, already upstairs and in tears, urged me to call the police. The arrival of the police brought temporary relief. We explained our ordeal, showed them the abandoned radio, and requested it as potential evidence. Fearful of the figures returning, we waited anxiously for the authorities to complete their inspection. The night ended without further incident, but the terror persisted. This unsettling episode, only a few weeks old, left us feeling vulnerable. The haunting melody and the mysterious figures lingered in our thoughts. A chilling question remained. What if they came back? We vowed to stay vigilant, ready to capture any potential return on video, praying for the safety and tranquility of our new home. I've had the privilege of working as a nurse in various healthcare settings, gaining valuable experience in the field. One of my assignments led me to a geriatric hospital just half an hour from my home. Although familiar with caring for older patients, little did I know that this particular stint would turn into a haunting experience, marking my second-to-last shift at that hospital. Assigned to the Alzheimer's ward during the graveyard shift, my youthful presence among the residents, lost in the recesses of their minds, offered a sense of connection to the present. Patients like Lena, a restless soul, found comfort in my company. Lena, a lady prone to seeing and hearing things, spoke of voices and a mysterious man dressed in black haunting her room. Even her roommate, seeking solace, had requested the curtain be closed before my shift commenced. Starting my shift around 9 p.m., my patients would typically be asleep by 11 twas, but not Lena. She'd call me into her room, frightened by the alleged voices and the man in black. As a compassionate nurse, I tried to calm her without resorting to turning on the TV, mindful of her roommate. Holding Lena's hands, I reassured her, reminding her she wasn't alone. As the night progressed, the slow-paced hours seemed to move in reverse. During a routine task in the linen room, a small and dead quiet space, I heard an unexpected noise. Startled, I turned, only to find nothing. Resuming my duties, an inexplicable force, akin to a large hand, gripped my shoulder. Terrified, I fled to the hall, finding no other nurses in sight. Returning to the room, I continued my tasks, unaware that an eerie encounter awaited me. Falling to the floor in horror, I screamed as a man dressed in black, smiling malevolently, stood outside the glass door. My screams reverberated through the entire ward, awakening the patients. The man vanished from sight, leaving only confusion in his wake. As my fellow nurse entered, she was oblivious to the man in black. Confused and terrified, I checked all the rooms, confirming that no one dressed in black was present. Lena, now awake, began speaking of the voices, unaware that my screams had added to her fear. Desperate to understand, I asked Lena about the man in black. Her focused expression and question, "How did you know?" sent shivers down my spine. Lena's subsequent screams revealed her fear. "Get me out of here, he's coming!" Switched to a different ward that night, I couldn't shake off the terror. The next day, I informed the head nurse that my upcoming shift would be my last. Traumatized by an unexplainable supernatural occurrence, I questioned whether my mind had played tricks on me throughout the night. The feeling of the hand on my shoulder and the image of the smiling man behind the glass door remained etched in my memory, a once-in-a-lifetime experience that defied logical explanation.